Week 3, ending strong. Coaches, we did it! It's week 3, our last week in boxes. Yes! All right, so what I've done is put together the best week I possibly could so that we finish strong, okay? So I know it's absolutely tough to coach in these restrictions, right? Not having players interact makes lesson planning a lot trickier. So what I've done on my end is put the best lesson plan together I possibly could for the last week. Because what I'm hoping for is that kids actually remember this experience and actually remember enjoying their time of practicing alone in their box, and then say, hey, I remember doing that. That was actually a lot of fun. If we can have that, this has been a huge success, and I know it's straining on the coaches who are making up for it with energy and extremely creative ideas, but thank you, and please just give me all you got on this last week, because I absolutely have given all I can into this PDF, okay? So I've tried to give you the best system I can. There's 6 games right on the front, and I use 3 of them within the lesson as opposed to the usual 2. So hopefully that makes it a much easier session for you to run, and then, like I said, hopefully the kids remember it as a really positive experience. Lovely. Game leaders, no different than last week. I need you running 5 minutes of this session, okay? So 5 minutes each for a total of 10. Coaches, please allow them to do that. And then my advice to you is simple. Like, this is your last chance kind of with a safety net, because next week you're running your own stations. You'll still have the yellow jerseys helping you out, but they're watching 4 of you who are all engaged at the same time. So this is your last chance with the safety net. So my recommendation is that you go as big and as crazy as you possibly can. It's a win-win. If you give it your all, right? If you're being as big as you can, trying to get the kids engaged, even if you're doing stretches, if you think of something silly like wave your hands like you're in the trees, anything ridiculous like that, the more you go for it, it's a win-win, because it's going to stick in their minds. Either it goes, it works, and it's a theme that they really loved and they adore it, or you go and you commit to it and it totally flops, which is hilarious, and it still sticks in the memory. Okay, it's a win-win. We don't care if you fail. I just want you to step outside of your comfort zone and do your absolute best, okay? Perfect. So going through the week, I'm going to skip the best games in boxes. You can read through those, but again, 3 of them are in this week, and 2 of those that are in this week are new, so I'll cover those now. So the first thing, though, we have is ball work, and the only thing new there is that we're doing, rather than putting our foot on the ball, we're going to be tapping the ball with the inside of our foot. Now, normally the ball would stand in between your feet, and you just go back and forth, tap, tap, tap. But because we're dealing with U4 to U6, some of us, the ball's not going to fit well between the foot. So have it a little bit in front and have them step up, touch inside, step forward, touch inside. Perfect. So that's the new thing there. And again, you're doing that slow. I don't expect them to be able to do it fast, right? So go slow with them, and then see how fast they can do 10, or see how many they can do in 30 seconds. Good. The technique we're working on this week is every child's favorite. It's shooting. So for U4 to U6, all you want is 3 to 5 steps. Run, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're planting on the 4th, kicking on the 5th. Again, 5 steps is the max. Ronaldo tends to use 5, Messi uses 3. Beckham was all over the place. Like, there's no perfect solution, but if you watch that free kick, it's a consistent number. So 3 to 5 works for me. If you see them taking more, try to say, can we try that with 3 steps, right? If you see them taking like 8, try and get them all the way down to 3, just so that they realize they're actually at full power at about the 4th step anyways, 3rd or 4th step. Cool. So you count down the first one, they kick, then you start again, 10, 9, and they're trying to get their ball, and then each countdown goes faster and faster until they can't keep up. U4 to U5, this might not work, so feel free to adapt that. But U6, this should make sense and should make it kind of fun as they rush towards the end. Perfect. We have stretches, which we've done. The one thing that I added here is kids have probably done this now for 2 weeks. In the older age groups, they might have even had 4 or 5 sessions doing this now. So I would recommend even asking them for a recommendation for an exercise, and don't put them on the spot. You know, if they just say arm, or if they just wiggle their arm, take over from that and do the proper stretch. Good. And then we have our first mini game, which we've done before, but finally well explained. I completely drew out the Wild West for you, and it's the best passing drill in these boxes that I've seen. So thank you for the coach who kind of invented it, or who I picked it from. That was awesome. Then we have dribbling. So this is our box dribble. Rather than calling out something directly like foot, leg, you're going to give code words based on street lights and then random colors. So if you say red light, they stop with a foot on the ball. If you call green light, they resume their dribbling. So what else can we add? We can add yellow light, which means dribble slow. So you can make that careful, or you can make it goofy where it really is slow-mo, right? Like do whatever you want with that. And then the one fun one there is purple light, which doesn't involve dribbling at all. But just based on how I saw the players interacting with their parents on a 1v1 game that we had set up, they love competing with their parents and chasing their parents. So literally, if you call purple light, the parents run for their life and the kids try and catch them. Another silly one is blue light, which you can think of as boogie light, which just means do a little dance. Not involved in dribbling, but anything to keep them engaged and to make sure they're having fun, right? So as much as you might think, Andrew, that's not building their soccer skill. If you are keeping their focus, if that lets you keep their focus, you're giving them a break, a chance to stay engaged, and that's going to let you develop that green light skill while they're dribbling much more than if you just kept the green light going. Does that make sense? By adding differentiation, even though it might seem sort of like a side quest, you're going to get more people accomplishing that main quest and it's sticking in their memory and them doing it better and retaining more because of that side. Excellent. And then we have our big game, which is what I've had the most success with. I called it Lunch Rush, but basically all it is a relay where you're moving balls from one end as a team to the other. U4 to U6, if they don't really understand that they're trying to race the other lines, that's fine. So all you would do is send in a ball, that person gets the ball, dribbles it, passes it to the next. Once they pass it to the next, call them back to get another ball so that they're constantly engaged, right? So if the game aspect isn't working, at least make sure the techniques they're building are working. The last person at the end gets to shoot on goal, which is fun. If you only have 6 players, let's say, or 2 lines, you can use your real nets, which makes it more fun. And then for age groups that really grasp it, I have variations there where they have to do sort of extra things in each section depending on where they are. So that's the last game of week 3. As I said, this is our last week in boxes. I want to be thinking of these as the unique experience the kids will remember and hopefully remember fondly. So please try to make that impact, and come week 4, you're in for a brand new adventure. Lovely. Thanks for watching these videos. I hope you enjoy the PDF, and as always, give me feedback. I really, really appreciate what you do, and you can only help make this better for everyone else. Thanks.